What is up? This is your LA in a minute. And I was about to do a story on street dogs of Los Angeles. By the way, one of my favorite late night snacks. But the thing is, the vendor didn't want to be filmed. And I respected his wishes. And it got me to thinking about the criminalization of street vendors in Los Angeles and why this is an ongoing issue and debate. Let's get into it. So street vending in Los Angeles is very important to the economics of the city. There are over 50,000 street vendors in Los Angeles, 10,000 of which sell food. This is estimated to be a $500 million per year industry for the economy of Los Angeles, with more than 5,000 different jobs created. It's important to understand that street vending has played a significant role in the growth of Los Angeles, both economically and culturally. Street vending is said to have been the first profession of immigrants in the city of Los Angeles, with Mexican and Chinese immigrants being some of the first street vendors as early as the 1870s. Vendors would hawk everything from pig's ears to oyster cocktails to sandwiches, but the majority of them hawked tamales, which were prepared elsewhere and able to be kept warm in steam buckets. Street vendors faced legal challenges almost from day one. As early as 1892, city officials tried to ban street vending, and in 1897, the LA City Council proposed not to allow lunch wagons or tamale wagons to open until 9 at night at the behest of restaurant owners who didn't like those crowds. But by 1901, more than 100 licensed tamale wagons roamed Los Angeles, each paying $1 a month for the city business license. Again, there was trouble as the city of LA tried to ban street vending, but Councilman Fred Wheeler defended the businesses, arguing that the tamale men had put Los Angeles on the map. Yet the street vendors continued to face harassment through the early 20th century as people used racism and xenophobia as a reason to push the street vendors out of their communities. By the time the Olympics arrived in Los Angeles in 1932, street vending had been run off from mainstream areas almost entirely. But the demand was still great, and in the 1940s, sandwich and hot dog vendors started appearing, including Carl's Jr., which started as a hot dog stand called the Blimp, as well as Legendary Pinks, which began as a hot dog cart and also sold tamales. But Los Angeles was driven by car culture, and with the advent of fast food and drive-thrus, street vendors were largely moved back to their cultural centers. And there it flourished, with places like King Taco and Raul Martinez, pioneers in the industry. And in 1994, Councilman Mike Hernandez took initiative to allow street vending in certain areas. And in the past 30 years, the fight has continued. Street vendors organized and created the Legalized Street Vending campaign. Lawsuits were filed against no vending zones, but the city pushed back against full legalization. And even in 2018, as California Governor Jerry Brown signed the Safe Sidewalk Vending Act, the Los Angeles City Council voted unanimously to legalize street vending, but with many caveats, and that's where we are today. Street vendors are prohibited from vending in specific areas. They're required to have various licenses and permits in a Byzantine maze of trying to figure out what's legal and how to get to be legal. There are also rules to impede the flow of pedestrian activity, as well as maintaining a clean area around their carts, kind of an arbitrary guide. So there is progress being made, but in a tradition that goes back 150 years, almost as old as the city itself. You figure it would be a lot more transparent on how these street vendors can operate legally. So look, street food in Los Angeles is delicious, and street vending is a hot button issue. So let's find a way to make it work where both sides can be happy. All right, LA, it's been a minute.